Hey guys, Attorney Walter Nod just wanted to catch up with you about a recent, really cool, amazing fourth stimulus update, which is going to leave you depressed, sad, and bummed. All right, here we go. Here's what you need to know. So I was sitting there thinking about why wouldn't President Biden go ahead and push forward a fourth stimulus? Wouldn't that make sense to go ahead and make people happy going into this whole midterm situation where lots and lots of House reps, 400, like 30 senators are going to be voted? What am I missing here? Obviously, you would expect President Biden to pass one of those, yet there's nothing in Congress supporting that idea at all. There's no bills, none of that stuff. So what I started to realize was that every time we had a stimulus, whether it was under Trump or Biden, we lost rights, a chunk of rights. The last one we had, we lost significant taxation, basically rights, where we got to go ahead and protect our interests. They almost literally had access to every single person's bank account. Yeah. So I started to think about that. What I realized from this whole situation was that we as Americans, every time they pass a stimulus, give up certain rights. And there's a bartering thing that happens. Government says to the people, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and give you a chunk of money, but you're going to go ahead and give us these rights. And America goes, we need money. Cool. Here's our rights. What's interesting is I don't think the Democrats or Republicans have figured out what rights they want to take from us as Americans for a fourth stimulus. Now, financially, let's talk about the good news. Financially, we are about to enter into what's called a recession. We are now at 7-ish% inflation rate, and a wonderful galloping recession. Mostly throughout history, when this happens, we enter directly into what's known as a black hole of just crap. The economy is terrible. There's no new buildings on the block. There's no new businesses being started unless they're in a garage. Gavin Emtar, I got to catch up with you. Luman here. Indeed. Very nice. Thank you, good sir, for the $5 donation. I really appreciate it. So basically, what I've started to realize is what we need to track is not necessarily just the money, right? Because I did a video and I was like, you know what? I think, guys, what's happening is they don't want to give everybody money because if everybody's buying stuff, then it makes it harder for us to replenish those items. And then if the items are scarce, the price of the items go up. The value of the dollar basically goes down, which means the price of the items goes up. Classic supply and demand. Boom, we've got inflation even worse. That's what I thought this was all about. I don't think that that's the big thing anymore. It's a thing, but it's not the big thing. What I think is the big thing now is that the government strategically plays chess with America's or American people, right? Their rights that they have that are given to them through the Constitution. And what they do is every time they do this massive, mega, ultra bill, right? They come out with this bill that's the pages. You could not use a standard printer to print it. Couldn't use it. Double-sided, still couldn't do it. You would need one of those massive printers to just print this bill. All of the language is put into it. What's happening is that basically they're right now figuring out what rights or freedoms they want to strip from Americans next. They tried to get access to all of our bank accounts for IRS purposes. They've already passed the $600 legislation. So at this point, what's going to happen next, unfortunately, is that they're going to come after some other right. So for stimulus, if one were to occur, and there's a lot of reasons one should occur. We're about to go into a recession. We have massive galloping inflation. Massive midterms are coming up where basically the Democrats look horrible right now. The Republicans are equally as bad as advertising, right? They've never known how to advertise and take advantage. I think when they had Cheney was good at that. They know how to manipulate words and do it right. You know, if you're going to do it right. He knew how to do it. But otherwise, the Republicans are absolutely terrible at doing campaigns to make people dislike the Democrats. Whereas Democrats are amazing at it. Like if you wanted to have like a class on how to like take advantage of bad situations or how to really like market something, just study the Democrats. They are superior at advertising. They've been that way for a long time. So with that said, we have a Democrat president. We have a situation that coulda, shoulda, woulda, obviously with all the super machines we have, should have been controlled, where we wouldn't have had this ridiculous inflation. We have no good laws on the table to fix the situation in a long-term sense. A lot of the promised laws, right? Laws about helping the retired, the disabled, etc., the auxiliary benefits, the VA veterans. A lot of those never even came to the table. So what's happening at this point is, I think we should have another way of looking at this, which is essentially, is the money available? Yeah, they could make it happen. They could make the money happen. But what rights can they take from the American people to make the American people have less capacity to fight the government, right? What money can they take from an American? What rights of defense can they take from the American? What home ownership can they take from the American? What vehicle ownership can they take from the American? What traveling between states, traveling between countries, traveling between counties can we take from the American? What health rights can we take away from the American? And when you start to think of it this way, as I do, because as you guys know, I live in a very dark place inside my head. And please, on that note, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave 5-star reviews. But think about it. Every time we had a bill come through for the stimulus, whether it was under Trump or Biden, although Biden was more of a snatch and grabber, more heavily for the rights of the people. But even through Trump, rights were taken away. And when I thought about this, I realized that the fourth stimulus is more of a strategic stealing or taking of rights. And that at the same time, what's happening, thank you, by the way, Paso, for sharing my channel. At the same time, what's happening now is that they're sitting back trying to negotiate what rights they can take from Americans to better the long-term existence of the United States government. And all of this equates to the United States government being this giant monster that has the capacity to control all its farm animals being humans. Right? And so what's interesting about that is you guys have to start to make a choice about this fourth stimulus situation. What is the money worth to you? Now, when a recession hits, this is brilliant. When a recession hits, you're going to need more money, the retired and the disabled, more than anybody. You are the fixed income people. So that means that you need to be the most aware of what's going on financially. I think at this point, most would agree, a lot of these YouTube channels are promoting this fourth stimulus is coming tomorrow, checks are being written, all that stuff. It's all a lie. And it's sad. And it's not good, and yet my videos get demonetized. So now, I told you guys there was probably going to be either a recession or galloping inflation that led to one. It happened. At that time, many people said I was fear-mongering. I wasn't. I'm right. I told you so. I told a lot of people that the super trust fund for the retired was running out 10, 11 years. A lot of people said I was fear-mongering. I showed you the statistics directly from the Social Security Administration. I was right. I told you so. I told you that the financial landscape is important for America because if we don't have people paying into the system by paying taxes, right? People working, paying taxes, then what's happening to the Ponzi scheme? Now, the Ponzi scheme of retirement, of disability benefits to some degree, okay, equates to a situation where there's not enough money. So we need people working to pay for those who are not working. We got another problem, and it's a long-term problem. People have this self-image or this identity inside their head of essentially their retirement already being paid for, that their money is already in the bank for them throughout these years upcoming. It's not. That stuff was, to some degree, mostly already spent on prior generations. If you're on retirement right now, my generation is paying for your retirement. Jeff May, thank you. $5 donation. I really appreciate it. Love the pair. Love the little party pair. So my generation and generations around my generation are paying for your retirement. That's a scary thought because my generation sucks for the most part. But the worst part of it is this. My generation earns less, has fewer benefits, can barely afford homes, has student loans that are extreme, can't find good corporate jobs, can't start new companies. So I am now going to put something else on everybody's plate so that they understand what my predictions are and why I always get called the fearmonger, and then it turns out I'm right. Inside the government statistics, they usually don't lie. They usually tell you what's going to happen. It's not perfect, it's not 100%, but it's usually a good roadmap as to where things are going. One of the things that I foresee happening is that there's going to be stepped recalculations for some future generation, might be mine, might be older than mine, as to what retirement would actually pay out. And as we move closer to needing retirement as our main source of retirement income for my generation, they will move as a government farther and farther away from retirement representing essentially the thing that keeps us alive in our golden years. So, Jeff May, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think one of the important parts of this channel is that this channel has been a no BS channel for a long time. And unfortunately, that got me demonetized. It got me aggressively attacked by people. I had somebody go after me because apparently they felt, and I remember I did that Whoopi Goldberg video. I got attacked because a couple of people actually went onto my website and posted into blog stuff and tried to attack me and this and that, and tried to do it in the comments about my Jewish heritage. And they felt that Jewish heritage was only back to, which, you know, and I know that some of you don't see this as relevant, but it's something that affects me. It hurts me. It makes me feel sad. But they said that Jewish heritage was essentially only something that those of African descent could have going all the way back to Egyptian times. And therefore, I could not be a Jewish person, even though many of the activities that help support the Jewish programs in this area have been touched in some way by me in a very positive way. So my point here is there's all these people that keep attacking me. Jeff May, wow, thank you. I appreciate it. Donate another $5. Thank you. And then mic drop. I want you guys to understand one thing from tonight. I've set aside a total of 8. So I really need to take away 2 of these. 8 videos I'm going to be doing live. But the most important thing I need you to understand is that a recession is coming. Financially, you need to protect yourself. There are certain things you can do to protect yourself. I'm going to be doing a video probably tomorrow or the next day specifically on how the retired and the disabled can protect themselves during essentially a recession. It's just going to be catered to those groups and veterans as well. Obviously, they're part of that as well. Yeah, how the hell does Whoopi have a Jewish last name? I know, but I don't want her to get fired. I just wanted to like appreciate Jewish heritage. I wanted to go see World War II, museums, see the shoes, see the videos, and see the photos of the metal from the teeth. To know what Ashkenazi Jews have gone through, which is the Jewish people from, essentially Germany. Oh, Jeff May, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So what you need to know is this, her ex-husband, there you go, yeah. I did see a story about that. I did. You would think because of that. But anyways, I need you to understand a 4th stimulus is not likely to happen this month, next month, the month thereafter, etc. But if we pull up the calendar and start to do some timeline thinking, we are going to go into recession during probably April. We're going to start to feel how horrible it is through May, June, July. August, September, October are the months directly before this whole midterm election situation, which will define the future of Biden as president, right? If essentially, he doesn't get the House and the Senate, right, and they go Republican, then he'll be impeached. Somebody will always write into the comments, how could he be impeached? He's done nothing wrong. They are investigating him currently. They're investigating his son currently. They're investigating people that are in his family currently. They'll find something, right? They always do. They always find a skeleton anywhere. So if we're to see a 4th stimulus, a sort of appeasing and pleasing of the American people, it's likely to happen somewhere around August, September, October. But remember, the legislation has to start popping up somewhere in August for this to happen in October. So start thinking June, July 4th, that area, essentially, for some sort of bill to come out to help support the American people. And it will be based upon enough money to boost what people are getting because of the inflation that's occurring. Now, with that said, you all know, and I'm still setting it up, that on July 4th, I will be pressing a button that automatically, it's randomized, picks a person who's a subscriber, and they will win a $600 stimulus from the law firm. Disability resolution, this one right here. And what that equates to is that it's my way of saying, I wish I could give everybody a $600 stimulus, because that was the original promise, right? That was the original goal. T-Paul, wow, thank you. Whatever heritage we come from, Americans need to not be divided. We can't thank you enough. I agree. I still, and I promote this identity of essentially like trying to tell people why racism is absolutely horrific. And, my reasoning is that there's so many homeless animals out there that want to be loved, dogs, cats, etc. And to hate somebody because of their skin color is moronic, because we need every single human being to adopt these beautiful hearts and take care of them because they need us. So that's if you need reason, that's the best one I can come up with. I know it's not loving humans for loving humans. It's loving humans for their capacity to take care of others. Wow, Rosa Lizandra, thank you for informing us with the truth. So I want to thank you, T-Paw, thank you, Rosa, thank you. Also, Jeff May, huge thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. I need you to understand where things are at. I'm going to read through an article now, specifically created by Fact Check Group at USA Today. USA Today is a very, very old paper going way, way back in time. I remember reading articles about it when I was, literally, 2 feet tall, etc. Wow. Jeff May, thank you again. Wow. Geez, guys. Wow. Thank you. Awesome pair. Love the pair. That's actually one of my favorite ones, that and the Shibu. Here's what we need to know. Fact Check, USA Today, Valerie Pavlonis, published 2:12 p.m., February 3rd, 2022. The claim a fourth 2000 stimulus payment is being sent out. With tax season underway, some experts have warned that the 2022 season may see some of the issues of 2021, when several rounds of stimulus checks caused severe log jams in the IRS filing system. While it's been about a year since stimulus checks were last dispensed, an array of social media posts claim a fourth round of stimulus checks are on the way. Here's one of them. Sending out $2,000 checks for everyone. Fourth stimulus check, says the title on January 28th Facebook video viewed more than 20,000 times. We all know which one that belongs to. YouTube videos with titles claiming the checks will be deposited February 9th grew 40,000 more views. But none of the videos follow through with any proof of any upcoming payment because there isn't any. No fourth stimulus checks is imminent, the IRS confirms. The poster couldn't be reached for comment, being the poster, the YouTube person who posted the video. As of now, a fourth stimulus check is unlikely. Recently, calls have circulated online for a fourth stimulus check to be approved, with many saying that although the payments have stopped, the pandemic clearly hasn't. Over 3 million people have signed a Change.org petition calling for recurring $2,000 payments for adults and 1,000 payments for children until the pandemic ends. Never going to happen. They're never going to do recurring payments, okay? But no such payment has yet been approved. IRS spokesperson Eric Smith told USA Today. This isn't the first time people posted misinformation about fourth stimulus checks. Some of the posts also circulated in May and July of 2021. Okay, analysts have their doubts about whether a fourth stimulus check, wow, excellent, thank you guys. Oh, perfect, okay. So analysts have their doubts about whether a fourth stimulus check is likely to be approved. CBS News wrote on January 31st that Biden administration focus on infrastructure to spur economic growth combined with criticism that the previous stimulus contributions to ongoing inflation have lowered the odds of another cash infusion. A timeline of past stimulus checks. The pandemic stimulus payment started nearly 2 years ago. It's been 2 years. 2 years. Stimulus checks were first deposited in the spring of 2020 with the COVID-19 pandemic was just beginning, driving up the unemployment rate and causing financial hardship for many. Individuals with income below $75,000 received $1,200, and couples earning below $150,000 received $2,400. Trump administration then authorized a second round of stimulus checks in December 2020, $600 per individual, $1,200 per married couple, and an additional $600 for each child under the age of 17. A third round came out of the Biden administration in March 2021, giving $1,400 per individual and $2,800 per married couple, along with $1,400 per dependent, this time regardless of age. Our rating. Is there a fourth stimulus coming? False. Based on our research, we rate false the claim that a fourth $2,000 stimulus. Oh, 2,000. Biggie. The biggie people are claiming. Man, these channels on YouTube, they're not going for the little stuff. $2,000 stimulus payment is being sent out is false. Though Americans have seen 3 rounds of checks, the IRS confirmed that a fourth has not been approved. All right, so what have we learned from all of this? What have we learned? We've learned essentially that YouTube has allowed a lot of production of videos with not proven content. Okay, that's acceptable. They're not in charge of that, even though they demonetize me from time to time. They have proven that essentially at this time, there's no fourth stimulus even on the table, right? There's these little bills that keep coming out, but nobody cares. They're not on the table. They will never make it through any of the committees. Okay. Do the American people need a fourth stimulus? Absolutely. Are the American people suffering specifically financially because of this galloping inflation? Absolutely. Are the American people going to spend it likely on food and other resources that they need? Absolutely. Are the American people thinking that there's no capacity going forward for them to be successful in a recession with galloping inflation? Let me grab Sweetie. Sweetie, the American people are lost right now. And that's exactly when they will trade your rights for a bill for some money. So I need you all to understand one very simple thing. There is only one thing at the end of the day that the government is really thinking about. And that's Sweetie in the background getting upset like I am. Here's the basic thing. And she's just annoying Shadow. And Shadow's going to bite her, and then it just rinse and repeat. But she doesn't care because she's like 3 times the size. Think about what rights and freedoms you have left to give them. Right to bear arms, right to self-defense, right to go ahead and have your financial accounts not gone into. Right now they need a warrant. But they'll go through your text, they'll go through your bank account, they'll do all that stuff so long as they can get a warrant. There's a judge sitting there on a bench somewhere that has the capacity to write that. At what point do we start to take away from the government their right to be part of our personal lives? Imagine a stimulus that we get where they lose some rights to access our freedom. Crazy, right? Oh, crazy. Guys, I'm going to be doing 8 videos tonight. I will catch you a little bit later. I'm going to be doing the next one shortly. Have a wonderful night. Thank you to all the people who donated. Just a real quick call to them. Jeff May, lots of donations. I really appreciate it. We've got Rosa donated $20. That's really incredible and amazing. It's just, T-Paw, $10. I really appreciate it. Jeff May again, Jeff May again, Jeff May again. We go all the way up to my buddy with the little baby Yoda face there in the image. I got to check in with him and see how he's doing. I hope you guys are doing okay because at the end of the day, my next couple of days will be based on building a bigger script to show you how to survive a recession during the Biden administration White House without the potential for fourth stimulus. If it were to come, it would likely come somewhere in August, September, October. But that is purely as a knee-jerk reaction to try and save whatever face the Democratic Party can because things are going horribly for them right up to the midterms. And never forget, the midterms decide what happens to this president. If he loses the House or the Senate, it's game over. He can't do stuff. If he loses both, he'll probably be impeached. So President Biden needs to really start to think, what do the people want? Instead, he's thinking too much about what do the people want and what can I make from them? What can I take from them to get that? That's how politicians think. It's always a give-take thing. I'll give you this, but I expect this. They're the ultimate bartering people. Anyways, I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful day. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.